welcome back to the Chief Lego Fanatic. So special video we have going today. I just got my Black Friday haul. Obviously these sets came out a little bit before Black Friday. Unfortunately they've been sold out, but I managed to get my hands on them. Soon I'll have the AT-AT built. That's probably be one of the next videos. But so we have set number 76239. It is titled Batmobile Tumbler Scarecrow Showdown. It's 422 pieces. Probably take about an hour to put together. This is actually the set I'm going to do first because I don't have a lot of build time for today. That's so I can knock it out pretty quickly. Obviously, this is a much smaller version of the Tumbler. You can see from the front. From the back, it actually has a Scarecrow minifig, which is really cool. It has a launcher, multiple heads for Batman / Bruce Wayne. So that's really cool. And then the other set is just Batmobile Tumbler. This is the 2021 version, so it just came out. It is set number 76240, 2,049 pieces. This is actually the remake of a set that came out in 2014, which I will compare and contrast these in the next video when I do the review of the sets. On the back, you can see the larger version, or the a larger picture of the Tumbler. You can see that it comes with an information plate, just like a lot of those sets do. There's actually a picture of the Tumbler from the Dark Knight trilogy. It shows the dimensions, so it's 17.2 inches long, so it's about a foot and a half long. Unlike the 2014 version, this one actually comes with a stand, kind of like the 1989 Batmobile, where you can actually turn it and display it from different sides. So, kind of cool. I'm excited. I love these sets. Let's get going. Unfortunately, this is one of those boxes that I don't really like. Unfortunately, this is one of those sets that I don't really like, or boxes that I don't really like, because you have to basically destroy the box in order to get it open. I try to destroy it as little as possible. Ah! There we go. Oh, so 4 bags, as you can see. Here's a couple of decals. Bring it over here so you can see. Yep, so little thing of decals. Camera focus on it. There we go. Got our instruction book. You can see the cover of it. Flipping through. Yep, pretty standard instructions. Yep, shows what each of the 4 bags does. So, now, for real this time, let's get going. Alright, so this build actually takes about 45 minutes before we're going to finish, but it's getting condensed down into about 4 minutes. First section mostly is just building the chassis. It's a whole bunch of little pieces. Oh yeah, can't forget about our little Batman. The Batman does come with 2 different heads. The black one that's sitting on the table is actually Batman after he's been exposed to Scarecrow's poison. So it's just a little alternate, and then he's got a little bat grappler gun in his hand. So yes, back to just building the chassis. In case you're wondering why I keep looking up, it's because I'm watching Lucifer while I'm building, just to have something going in the background. Interesting show, just started watching it. I think I'm on episode 3. Yep, so it's a whole lot of just putting the chassis together. So all the little pieces, what I was just putting there together there, or the guns that go in the front of the Tumbler. Little pile of extra pieces. Oh, there's our little Scarecrow. It took me a couple times to get it to where he would actually stand up straight. The table's not completely flat. I'm not a carpenter. So you kind of have to bend the legs a little bit to get them to stand up straight. Oh, there's the windows. Last finishing touches, bag number 3. Yep, now we're finally adding the axles, the wheels, so it'll actually stand up by itself. A couple of decals. Adding the side panels. It does have a pretty decent amount of detail, even though it's obviously not nearly as detailed as the larger version. I guess I lied, the wheels aren't turned until the last bag. Yeah, I had an extra piece, trying to figure out where I needed to put it. You'll see me do that a couple of times. That's the last bag. You can see the pieces start trying to roll away around the table. Put some more side panels, the top panels. Yep, now we're finally up onto the wheels. Putting those on so it'll actually stand up by itself. Mostly it's just putting the center of the wheel into the tire itself and then attaching it. Putting the back piece on. And that's it. Alright, now we're back. I went ahead and broke open the box and distributed out all the bags, kind of save a little bit of time. This does have 11 sections, plus it has all the tires are in extra pieces. The hubs for the wheels are in a separate bag. I can already tell that the minifigs are in the very last set, which makes sense given that the minifigs don't really go with the set itself. They're more a display piece. One thing that this set does do that Lego has started doing that I really like is the instructions come in their own separate box. So it's much better much easier to keep the instructions actually flat. So inside we have the instruction booklet and some decals. Move over here so I can put it close to the camera. So for decals, it shows the information plate for the tumbler, plus a lot of control panels, most likely on the inside. And then, of course, for our instruction book, it shows the tumbler on the front. Pretty standard instructions. And towards the front, where's it at? Somewhere in the front. All right. It shows, there's a nice cool picture of the tumbler from the movie. Yep, some concept design. Talks about what the design of the tumbler was actually meant to be. Here's showing what all the different sections are, or all the different bags build. Given that section number 1 has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bags by itself. I can tell that's going to be a significant part of this build. It's just going to be this first step. So let's get going. And here we go. I noticed while I was editing this that I talk out the side of my mouth for some reason. It's not normal for me. So who knows? All right, so yep, just like I thought, the first section is all chassis, so it's a lot of the larger Technic Lego pieces. Put it together, it gives you a base to work off of, and allows you basically just connect all the other sections to it. Yep, more chassis, chassis, more chassis. And now we're adding some vertical supports to the chassis so that it'll be able to build up off of that. You can see some of the Technic pieces sticking up from the top of the chassis. The piece I'm building right now is pretty much a backbone that'll go along the center of the chassis, that a lot of the panels for the outside basically just stick into it. Makes it pretty easy to attach a whole bunch. Yep, there we go. Notice it's a little bit more vertical now. And all of that, oh yeah. So if you see me looking for something, it turns out that there was another decal that's not on the main decal sheet. It's actually a little clear decal, and it was all by itself. So I was trying to hunt down in the box where it was. Yep, so finally finished bag 1, moved on to bag 2. And these are supports for the back. They're not really windows. They are there's a big hole in the center of it, but there's a panel that connects onto it towards the end that actually covers it up. It looks kind of like a window. Yeah, there's some pieces on the bottom that connected to the chassis that whenever I picked it up, they had a tendency to want to come off. You see now the little gray part in the back, it's actually covered up by panels in the actual set itself, but the gray part that you see there at the back of the set are basically fuel tanks. Yeah, basically called it a day at that point, moved on. This was the next day, that's why the camera angle's a little different. Still mostly chassis. Starting to put on some of the outside panels, mostly on the side. It's a little bit in the back. Yep, found it. Realized I skipped a step. Had to go back and fix it. I think an important thing is if you have any large pieces left over when you finish one of the bag sets, it's a good idea to go back and look through the steps and see where you may have missed a piece. And you see the white block on the bottom? That's actually where the stand at the very end connects into the set. So that's why that's a different color than all the rest of it. Yep, dropped a piece, no idea where it went. Eventually found it. It fell on the couch that stays underneath the table there, which explains why I never heard it hit the floor. Yep, putting the wheels together. Now, you see the door opening and shutting in the background. I promise you, I don't have a ghost in my house. My two younger daughters like to come in the garage and play while I'm in their building. So anytime you see the garage door opening, it's then either going in or out. It's interesting, like, if you look at the set when it's sitting, not as it is right now, but right now it's so shiny that it actually looks like it's the box. The black finish on the pieces is that shiny. Yep, more panels, more panels. This is mostly panels going on the sides. And you can see my youngest daughter there in the background. She was standing on a ladder. She was interested in the Thanos glove that's all right there. More panels, more panels. As you can tell, my daughters don't care about my power bill. Just leaving the door sitting open. These are the panels that kind of start making the fin-like structures that are on the back top of the tumbler. And now I'm putting some details onto the back. There's like a fuel gauge and the actual rocket nozzle. Nope. So that was me finishing for that day. It came back the next day to finish up. I had bags 10 and 11 left. 10 is, again, just more panels. Yep, so I made the mistake thinking that the set itself was done at this point. I was wrong. I thought the only thing left was the stand, but it turns out there's more panels. It is mostly done at this point, but there's a couple more, as I said, the fin-like structures that go onto the back. That's why I ended up moving it back, because it's just easier to put it together over there. You can see my nice little pile of extra pieces hanging out. All right, now the set is actually done. Now I'm just building the stand that it's going to go on. Relatively straightforward. It's a nice little oval. You build it in 2 pieces and then put it together. Gotta love decals. Put the decal onto the stand. And then the only thing left is building the minifigs and then the stand for where the minifigs go. And that's it.
Here we have the finished sets. I'll go over the sets more in detail in the actual review, but it took about 8 hours worth of build time for both sets. A lot of fun, but for now, I'll see you guys next time.